Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 90-Day Life Challenge. So, today we are on day 89, and we have a special guest today. She will be joining us in a few minutes. So, let's first introduce ourselves. So, hi, everyone. My name is Sandy, and I'm the face of the Facebook business page, Sandy Caballero, Sandy to Empower Lives. I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner.
Hi, I'm Jen, and originally I'm from Brunei, and now I'm living in Alberta, Canada. I'm a mom, wife, grandmother, and have three kids and eight wonderful grandchildren. I'm an insurance agent by profession, and I'm also a very, very proud digital business owner.
Thank you so much, Jen. We also want to remind the viewers that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinars. So if you want to learn how you can earn online, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the live webinar. In this case, you can catch the replay from last Thursday. So here are the hosts and panelists from that day.
Roxanne, host supply chain officer, Lavelle, executive assistant, Michelle, IT professional, Ryan, nurse educator.
Thank you. We also have as panelists Gina, she's a hotelier. We have Jean, an accountant. We have Junko, a hairdresser. We have Lily, a former Earth crew, educator, and full-time mompreneur. So as you see, our panelists are from different walks of life. Where they're going to be sharing on the webinar, their testimonials. So they're going to be sharing why they decided to join the online business, and also why how this online business has transformed their lives. In the webinar, you're also going to be learning on how our business plan works. So, and the replay has subtitles in any languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages now. So that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. Okay, so let's bring our guest to the studio. Hi, Florence. Thank you for coming.
Hello,
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
So, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. Yeah. Again, thank you. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate the invitation. I always love coming on sharing about our business. A lot of people don't know what we have. And so it's nice to come out and just, give a little bit of knowledge and inspiration perhaps to those that are looking. So I am Florence. I'm originally from Eastern Canada, but I moved to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, right out of high school. I've been living here for almost 40 years. I'm married to my husband for 38 years. We have 3 adult daughters, 2 little grandchildren. And my background, I was a designer, a florist when my girls were little. And then I moved into the corporate world where I worked for an airline here in Calgary for the past 18 years. And now I'm proud, I run my digital business pretty much full time.
Thank you so much, Florence. Okay. So let's start with the first question.
Okay, Florence, what made you decide to start an online
Sorry.
business and how did it align with your dream for an ideal retirement?
Sure, that's a great question. Everybody always wants to know why, and we all get into the business for different reasons. But I can honestly tell you that I wasn't looking to start an online business. I always steered away from the online space. Maybe it's because of my age or how I grew up. I didn't grow up with the internet. And I always thought that anything online was always, it wasn't on the up and up. So I was always afraid of that. But I came to a point in my life. So there's two critical points that changed the whole, aspect of where I am today. The first one was, like I said, I was working for an airline. So I was working for an airline. My husband worked in exotic hardwoods. He was a distributor for Canada, for a small company in Canada. And then one day, it was just before Christmas, my husband got a phone call from his doctor. and it was bad news. My husband was diagnosed with a critical illness, and the only way for him to get better was to go in for surgery. And so surgery happened on December 17th, 2017. So Christmas is kind of bittersweet for us because you'll hear in a second that Christmas was, although it was pretty tragic for us, but there was also some miracles. So he went in for surgery. Things didn't turn out the way we had expected, and he ended up on life support. So for many, many months, I sat by his side, just praying to the good Lord to give us one more day together. This is always emotional. Praying that he would see his granddaughter. We only had a little grandbaby at that time. She was only a year old. And even just to be able to walk his daughter down the aisle when she got married, there were so many things that were going through my mind at that particular time that I wanted one. And he was only 57. So it wasn't like my husband was old. He was only 57 at the time. But it was turning my world upside down. Praise the Lord. Over many, 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 my husband started to get well and he came home, but it wasn't without complications. He wasn't able to go back to work. And there was still a lot of, therapy and appointments that he had to attend. So I eventually went back to my work. I never left the hospital. I sat by his side. I don't know for how many days, night and day, because I was afraid if I left that I wasn't going to see him again. And, this is the love of my life. I don't want to, I was just so scared. I was absolutely scared to move. When you're in a place like that, everything becomes so surreal. It feels like you're in a dream. You don't even know one day from the next. So I did end up going back to work after he came home. But I was losing more time. I was still losing time with him. I was still afraid. It was like at that point, we had guests maybe 4 or 5 appointments every single week to come in and hospital, to be on top of things and make sure that things were going right. A little bit later than that, when we started to rebuild our financial nest egg, because when I was out of work, I wasn't getting paid. There was some insurance, but really had to, be a good nest egg at that point. But, at some point it runs out, when you're not working and you still have mortgage and bills to pay, it runs out. So I had to start building that nest egg again. But it didn't matter to me because I had a really good job. So that was the second turning point in my life. It absolutely devastated me. So we have no money left. My husband is still recovering. He can't work. And then I don't have a job anymore. That's what really made me decide to start outside the box. I knew at that point that allowing somebody else to have that much control over my life, mine, it's my retirement isn't me anymore.
Sorry, say that
free
again?
time and to be able to earn a living. And so I jumped in. I said, when I seen this business, I really didn't understand it. But one of the main benefits that, solidity, and I thank God that it is, but just to be able to have time. I wanted to time my husband him. So I wanted to find a way where I could earn some money so that we could stay up on our bills and be able to have flexibility in my time. And when I seen the business, it likes this, and I thought, it didn't matter that I didn't know what I was doing. It didn't matter that it was online. I had to evaluate my priorities. My priority was earn a living. And as far as our ideal retirement, I didn't really have an ideal retirement. For me, it was just my family means everything to me. It always has. And if I could, then that would be my ideal retirement. So it just, everything in this business just kept checking the boxes, and it aligned so perfectly with the way, you know, so I jumped in, and that was years ago. And so, yeah, here I am.
Thank you so much, Sis Florence.
Yeah, thank you, Florence, for sharing. Yeah, and it's it's um like you can see that God works in mysterious way. Okay, it is in His time, and I believe that God will provide and will not make any one of us suffer where we cannot um how should I say it? We cannot um deal with it. Okay, and maybe because of your husband's um illness, right, that brought you uh into this business. Okay, and look at you today. Yeah, and you are enjoying the life with your husband, and God has make your husband better, so you can enjoy his company with you. Yes, and also talking about the wanting an ideal retirement someday. Okay, and that offers both financial stability and time to enjoy life. Yeah, for me, starting this online business was also about creating a future where I could spend time with my family and pursue my dreams. That is important without the stress of a traditional job.
Mm.
Okay. It's amazing how this story allows us to work toward the retirement we have always envisioned. And I love your courage and stand up and uh, hold the fort for yourself, your family. Thank you, Florence, for sharing.
Thank you so much, Sis Florence. Thank you so much, Jen. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next question.
Okay. Family seems to be at the heart of everything you do, right? How has this business allowed you to prioritize your family and still strive professionally?
Okay.
I think we are having some technical difficulties here. So for those that are watching, I apologize for that. So it's ringing in. So I'm that makes some value for those watching. So I can start because I couldn't hear Jen a second ago. Come in and watch this, and it's really important to me. So it just says family of everything. Your family and you'll thrive professionally. I think I just mentioned my family is absolutely everything to me. My family is the reason that I got into this. It wasn't just to spend time with my husband, but like I mentioned, I have 3 daughters. I have a 7-year-old granddaughter, and I have a 2-month. And I used to say, I don't want kids. I used to say, I'm not going to be a mom when I grow up. But then I met my husband. We met and engaged and married. So that's how much he's my soulmate. And when you find somebody that, is so deeply connected, all I ever wanted to do was she's so she slept over see my grandbaby, and just having that time, like my girls, they're adults, they do have jobs, and they work outside, of the house. But the most precious things, I think it's an absolute honor and blessing to be a parent, and I don't take it lightly. And just to be able to time with them means everything. It's just prioritize, still thrive professionally. I think it's how you have to really um, find first a business that allows you to have that flexibility. This business allows me to schedule my
Okay, we lost Sis Florence. Um, so yeah, so she was talking about that her family's plays a big part, in her heart. Her family is first, um, and then um, I don't know if you heard about her story, about her husband that is the soulmate. Oh, she's back. Okay, just give me a sec. There you go. There you go.
and we're back. That's technology for you, right? And you know what? That happens. That's the way life is. And you can't control some things in your life, and you have to go with it. You have to go with the flow. You can't get all flustered about it. It's just the way it is. And I'm sure that, the people who are watching have probably had some unexpected things come up as well. And you can't stress about it. So I'll just try to pick up where I left off. I was just saying, I've never had a place it's never been a point in my life or had the opportunity in my life to have that much control over my time. I sat in a cubicle for 8+ hours a day for over 18 years, and there was always somebody telling me when to clock in, when to clock out, when to take my holidays, how many sick days I was allowed. So having the ability to be able to control my life around my business has been nothing more than a blessing. It's just absolutely amazing. And I think you just have to decide, take a look at the day, decide what you need to do in your business, and then what you need to do in your life. And you just work it out. Everybody talks about there's balance, there's no balance, there's this balance. Everybody's life is different, and you just have to work out what's important to you. My family is important, but I take my business very seriously as well because it's changing lives all over the world. So I take a look and see what I need to do each day, and you just make it work.
Thank you so much, Sis Florence.
Yeah, thank you, Florence. Yeah, that's so inspiring. I feel the same way too. Family is at the core of everything I do as well. Okay. And I think it's most of us mom feel the same way. Okay. Like you and me. Okay. And this business has been such a blessing in allowing me, I'm talking for myself, okay, to put my family first while achieving professional growth.
Mhm.
Although I'm full time in the insurance field, okay, but I'm trying to balance between family and my uh, business and also my professional work. Okay. It's empowering to know we don't have to choose between success and
Mhm.
spending quality time with our loved ones. Yeah, so long if we can balance how we do it. Like this business is very important to me, and it transformed my life.
Yeah.
a game changer for me. And I could see not only professionally, but personal. My personal growth has transformed me almost daily. I'm a bit talkative now. Before, I was very quiet.
Hmm.
I consider myself as an introvert,
Me too.
but now I'm talking more.
Hmm.
Talking more, maybe because of my mentor, Sandy. Yeah, so brought me out of the hole somehow, and I'm still learning. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, so thank you, Florence. Thank you, Jen. So let's go to the next question.
Okay, you mentioned that God guides you and bring peace into your life. How has your faith influenced your approach to this business and your journey so far?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, I think I mentioned before when I was sharing my story that I prayed when my husband was in the hospital, and we received a miracle. And I think I grew up in a Catholic home. My parents were very, very faithful, and throughout my years, I raised my girls as Catholics. In the church. Sometimes things get away from you. Sometimes it's so easy in today's society to be, I guess, taken off that path, and sometimes you don't realize that. But I think I've always had a strong faith, and I think as far as being in the business, when we get into this business, and I'm going to speak from my own experience, I thought it was going to happen overnight. I thought, the bells and whistles would go off, and, my bank account would be full of all his money, and I'd have everything like within, 24 hours. And I'm not kidding. I thought it would take a month at the most. And, I would have everything that, I thought that this business would give me. But I had to learn, I had to learn and rely on my faith that God knows so much more than I do. Like, who am I? You know, God knows so much more than I do, and He has a plan. And when His time is right, the things will come into place, not just for me, but for everybody. I believe that. I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe my husband getting sick, although it was tragic and it absolutely changed everything in our lives, it happened for a reason. I believe me losing my job, it happened for a reason. I believe me finding this business, it happened for a reason. And I believe it's all part of God's plan in order for us to be able to um, rely on Him. Like, we have to have that faith in knowing that He knows what's best for us, knowing that um, we just have to step back. And I honestly believe that some people that get into this business, they see success right away, or it might take years. But I believe that whatever it is, it's a journey that God is leading you, because I always say I'm in a transition. I'm in a transition. If I had gotten that success in a month, I may not know what to do with it. I may have, used up all my money, or I may not have been able to guide people correctly, as a mentor or as a leader. So I believe we're all in a transition, and that's God's transition and plan for us to keep the faith and then to dig us out of that deepest hole that we've been in. I've been in some bad holes with my husband being ill, and it was all by the grace of God that we got out of it. And so I believe in that too. I believe God leads us in, not just in our personal life, but in this business. This business is changing lives, and it's so much bigger than you'll ever know until you step into it. And as far as it's, influencing my business, everything I do is based on my faith. Everything I do, my faith, my family, my business, my life, it's all interconnected. You can't have one without the other, I believe. And again, if you just keep the faith, believe that, I think the big thing too was understanding that it does take time, and understanding that we're all worthy. We wouldn't be here on earth if we weren't worthy of having more and living in God's grace and having that abundance that He wants us to have. So it's just a matter of being patient, have the faith, and it will come to you.
Yes, yes. This is so beautiful, Florence. Yeah. I also feel that faith plays a huge role in this journey. Okay.
Mhm.
For me, trusting that God has a plan gives me strength and clarity. Mhm. Especially during challenging times. It's amazing how faith not only guides us, but also help us stay grounded and focus on our purpose in this business. And I just hope that God knows when He will uh, bring me uh, better tomorrows
Mhm.
with this business.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Florence. Okay, so let's go to the last question.
Okay. What advice would
Mm.
you give to someone who feels overwhelmed or unsure about starting a business, especially during retirement?
Yeah, this is a great question. I think in life, at some time in our life, we're unsure about something, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're unsure about being a parent. We're unsure about being a grandparent. We're unsure about even driving for the first time. So there's always things in our in life that we're unsure about. But I think you have to take a deep dive into your, and that's what I did. I had to step back and take a deep dive into, you know, really my soul and decide what is the most important thing that you want to do. Like at this age, you know, I don't want to be sitting behind a desk for somebody else, and that's what you have to decide. If you love your job, that's great. I loved what I did. I was helping people, and that was important to me. But at the expense of losing time with my husband, at the expense of missing out. I missed so many things with my kids over the years because I was sitting down working for somebody else and making their dreams come true. So life is definitely it's not a given, and we're never sure about things. But I think as well, when you come to this age, we have so much experience behind us. We've lived, you know, we've done that. We've been there, and we've overcome. You know, you've overcome so many things in your life that you don't even know it, and you're able to pick yourself up and go and continue to move on. So if you're overwhelmed and you're unsure, all I can say is don't be stuck. You are so worthy, like I said, of having everything that you want in your life. And I know it sounds too good to be true. And we can sit here and tell you all the great things about it, but I just encourage you, reach out to these ladies and take that first step and come in. We can get you an actual inside look, not just to the webinar, but we can get you an inside look at how people are changing their lives. You can come in and if you want to see the money and the income, we don't share that usually out in public because that's not right. You know, that's not right. But we can take you inside, get a look at our private, you know, we have a private Facebook group. You can take a look at that. You can see exactly, you know, if the money is the most important thing to you, how much, you know, income that you can actually make in this business. And you can see that how people are actually changing their lives and paying off their mortgages and just living life on their terms. And just, you know what, retirement can be however you want it to be. Retirement is different for everybody. But I can tell you one thing, when you don't have money worries, it can make a huge difference in how you wake up in the morning and start your day. And there's no better feeling than helping somebody else, you know, have that same pleasure and that same excitement of being able to change their life. It's an absolutely amazing feeling. And plus, you know, the gentlemen that created this platform that we're on, they're two gentlemen from Western Canada. I call them young guys, but maybe it's because of my age, but they created a place where everybody is welcome. There's absolutely no judgment. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter how old you are. You have to be 18 though, at least. It doesn't matter where you come from. Everybody is in this together as a global community to lift you up, to inspire you, to believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself, because I didn't have that belief. But I can tell you, if I didn't have this community support around me and my coach, people that have absolutely no financial connection with me whatsoever, encourage me and believe in me, I probably wouldn't be here. So you get so much more than a business. You get a community of people who really do care about you. So I encourage you, you really check your priorities, decide what it is you want for the rest of your life, and come in and talk to these ladies. They can get you an inside look, like I said, and get you connected to that webinar.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Florence.
Florence.
Yeah, that's such valuable advice. Okay. Um, I completely agree. Yes. And because starting a business, especially during retirement or going into retirement, I can feel overwhelmed at first. Okay. But from my experience, taking it one step at a time, okay, one step at a time, and learning into the support of this community, okay, makes all the difference because we have coaches, we have mentors, and that makes all the difference. It's about believing in myself, okay, and
Mhm.
remembering that it's never too late to create a fulfilling and purposeful future. Okay, like what you have said, Florence, if you can retire without any stress or financial stability or anything like that, that is wonderful. Okay, and you have said it very wisely and very clearly. And I hope that viewers who are there out there listen and take a leap of faith.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Florence. So we have arrived to the end of our lives. So we can do a quick recap of what we talked today. So we started with, the decision why we started, why Florence decided to start an online business, and how this aligned with the dream for an ideal retirement. And also we talk about, family, is the heart of everything for her. Like it's an important in her life. Family is important. I think all of us, for us is family
Mhm.
is very important for us. uh, so, and then also she talked about, how this business allow her to prioritize her family and also thrive professionally. She also mentioned about, that God guides her, and I do believe in this too, because, I joined last year. And when I went to the Calgary convention, and I think I only had like 17 days. and and like you, Florence, like you mentioned, like you think God made you, like sometimes, we see it as a setbacks or things, negative, but we don't understand at the time why
Mhm.
those things happens to us. But once we reflect back to our life, we realize that, these things were meant to be able to guide us to where we are today. And that's how my life has been. And when I found last year this opportunity, it was the same thing, like you, I think it was divine guidance, God guiding me,
Mhm. Mhm.
because everything aligned to what was happening to me at the time. And then it reinforced me more, um, when I went to the Calgary convention. The last day that we
Yeah.
went to the business
Yeah.
on the bus. And then
Yeah.
I saw you guys, in the book and the bus that I can't remember if you were on the same bus as me, but I saw that they starting to pray before we went out, on the trip. And that really, made me more assurance. Okay, I'm in the right place.
Yes.
So yeah, so I do believe what you say, because it also has been in my life that way. So and lastly, you gave the advice, for someone who feels overwhelmed and unsure about starting the business, especially during retirement. So thank you so much for all
Mhm.
the your story. It's very inspiring, to us, and to I'm pretty sure it's going to be very inspiring to the viewers too, because it's really touching, but at the same time, it's very inspirational, to see, even though you went through all those challenges, you were able to overcome those challenges and find a solution, and believe in, because of your faith, you were able to overcome that too, and found, God guide you to where you're supposed to be and where you are today, which, you
Mhm.
know, your husband, is good with you today. You're able to enjoy time with him, and do the things that you guys love. I know you love to do camping and going to the nature. So yeah, so God knows better, what is good
Mhm.
for us. We just have to be patient, and let him guide us. And like you mentioned, when the time is right, when he thinks that the time is right and we're ready for it, he will provide for us, what we need. So
Mhm.
yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. um, so if you guys want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the same webinar that we have watched, and that all
Mhm.
the members from our community have watched, that has changed so many lives, and it keeps changing lives, including ours. So if you want to catch the replay from last Thursday, here are the hosts and panelists from that day.
Yeah, we have the host, Roxanne, supply chain officer, Laville, executive assistant, Michelle, IT professional, Ryan, nurse educator.
We also have as panelists Gina, she's a hotelier. We have Jean, an accountant. Junko, a hairdresser. Lily, a former aircrew educator and full-time mompreneur. So as you see, we all come from different walks of life, united by the same common goal, have a better life for us and for our family. That financial stability, that more time, to be spending with our loved ones. And we decided to take that leap of faith to start our own online business. So in this webinar, you're going to be hearing from these panelists. They're going to be sharing, why they decided to start their online business, and also, how this online business has transformed their lives. At the same webinar, you also learn how our business plan works. So they're going to be explaining that in there. So for the replays, they have subtitles in any languages, and for the live webinar, they have now subtitles in 5 languages. So that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So if you want to catch, you just need to register in any of the websites that appears on the screen with the name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar, and also to register to our live webinar, which happens every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, and 8 p.m. EST. So you will receive that link. And when you click on that link, you will have a page that will have 2 buttons. So one for Tuesday, one for Thursday. So you can either register for either one or for both dates. So and in addition to that, you also get invited to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories from members of our community, and also more information about the business. So you got nothing to lose, more to gain. It's all free information session for you to do your
Mhm.
due diligence. So you got nothing to lose. Just take the leap of faith and find out more, because this could be the opportunity and what you've been looking for, to change your lives and your family's lives. So um, we also want to say thank you to all the viewers that has watched the live with us today, and also for those watching the replay. Thank you for watching the replay. Let us know in the comments
Mhm.
where you're watching from to show that we are so global. And if you have any questions or any comments about what you heard today in our live, please put it in the comment, and we'll be happy to reply back to your comments or answer any questions that you have. So. We also want to say thank you to our followers. Thank you for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our contents. Because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys too. So thank you so much. We are a community that we are here to share our experiences, share the learnings, because sharing is caring. So here we are. So thank you for all your emojis and all your comments, and for being here. And of course, thank you for a special guest today, Florence, for taking some part of her time and being here to share her story with us and with our audience. So it's very inspiring. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And so that's the end for our live for today. So until the next episode of the UVL 90 Day Challenge. Thank you, everyone. And before we go, Happy New Year, because tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So Happy New Year to all of you. So wishing you all love, prosperity, lots of blessings and happiness in this upcoming year. So Happy New Year to you guys, that you guys are going to be celebrating tomorrow together with the family. So yeah, so God bless you all, and thank you for watching. And until the next episode of the UVL 90 Day Challenge. Bye, everyone.